Well, welcome everybody here to Rebel Racing Network for the Apex E-Series Showdown. And tonight we are at North Wilkesboro for the Apex Sim Racing Gear 125, 160 laps here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. What a good time to be doing it too, with all the actual real racing going on at North Wilkesboro. So we're going to take the trucks out on the track for a retro night here in Apex. Man, what a great season we've had so far. Had a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed the broadcasts. The racing has been phenomenal. And this week I'm expecting the just to step up even further as we take the short track here at North Wilkesboro. And going to be a lot of fun. And expecting some really hard, close racing, maybe a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action. But North Wilkesboro, a 0.625 mile oval, 14-degree banking and turns. Ernie Irvin set the track record in '94 at an 18.905, and most wins, of course, the king, Richard Petty. Tonight's weather looking good, 65 degrees, partly cloudy, winds north 2 miles an hour, and 55% humidity. Perfect conditions for a race. I wish I was there sitting in the stands in this type of weather. So we are getting ready to get this thing going. Got about 30 seconds before we grid up and we jump into the race. Looking forward to tonight. As always, got a lot of awards to give out. Definitely want to thank our title sponsor, Apex Sim Racing Gear, apexsimracing.com. Go check them out if you're interested. Not a sponsor, but I do want to plug rebelracingnetwork.com if you're interested in seeing maybe some stuff that'll go up before too long. Right now I got some videos and stuff up, sort of a home base for Rebel Racing Network. If you're interested, go check it out, rebelracingnetwork.com. But with Checker Flag is out, and we're going to jump right into the grid, and it is the Kinder Farm and Ranch starting grid. And starting on the front row is your Peg Leg Pole Award winner, and that is Chris Carroll in the number 97 Chevrolet truck. Outside the front row is Chris Bedwell. Matt Rogers. Oh, excuse me. Starting in row 2 is Ray Rogers and Chris McLean. Having a little issue there already. Love it. Got to love it. Row 3 is Willie Evernham and Aaron Adcock. Row 4 is Charles Stevens and Justin Miller. Row 5 is George Williams and Dana Shepard. Didn't quite get his luck up there. Tracy Passons, Jason Raymond bringing up row 6. Row 7, Matt Rogers and Tony Edgerton. Row 8, William Griffith, Alex Coffey. And row 9, bringing up the rear of the field, number 30 truck of Alan Smith. That is your Kinder Farm and Ranch starting grid. So congratulations to our pole winner. And we are already rolling, getting ready to go tonight as we get the engine sounds up. That way you can hear them. Get that music off there and get some standings up so you can see it. We're going to go old school tonight. Throwback standings. And just like the old day, mac and cheese color with a little bit of drop shadow like the Lord intended. Got a little bit of special deal tonight. We're going to be playing around with a movable camera tonight. So not quite the drone cam, but they had this back then, I believe. So we're going to fiddle around, give you all the action, give you some different angles. And right now we're on board with your pole sitter, Chris Carroll, in the 97, looking to rebound after last week. But pace car getting ready to head off of the track down pit road. And Chris Carroll going to lead us down to the green flag with Chris Bedwell on the outside. And green flag is out here in the Apex Sim Racing 125. And already Chris McLean trying to poke that nose in there for maybe 3 wide there on lap 1, turn 1. Decides against it. Going to jump down to the inside of Chris Bedwell as you know, this track's a lot of fun, got a lot of character. iRacing's version, I think the surface seems to be a little bit better than I think what it is in real life. A lot more cracks and stuff in real life. They really tried to make it like it was back in 1987, the way that they built this track. So it's not a complete scan of the way that it is today, but a sort of a reimagining or sort of going back a little bit to what it was in 1987. That's why you don't see so much character in the track like you might see on TV this weekend and this whole month. But right now, we're racing. We got Chris McLean. It's the Chris show up front. All three Chris's up there. McLean trying to make that top side work. You see Bedwell really working the outside as it's really, really tight exits to these corners. And you really want to be able to use the whole track like a lot of places that we go to. And you see Chris McLean having to get out of the gas, not quite able to make that work. And Bedwell going to take over that second place spot. Ray Rogers decided to qualify tonight and starts up in the top 5, drop back a couple spots, but he is looking to the inside maybe of Aaron Adcock. Is that 17 Hardy's machine already making up a couple spots, using that outside, looking really, really strong. And caution is out on the speedway. Looks like George Williams, Tony Edgerton involved in this wreck. Let's go back and see what happened. And this is the Wreckage Rewind, Burkhalter Recycling and Demolition. As we kind of watch as Tony Edgerton just gets a little bit loose. I'm not really sure what happened, but truck goes around. And that brings out our first yellow flag of the night here on lap 8. So already a Records Rewind as we watch George Williams come in pit road. Said he crashed too, but I didn't see him hit anything, so seemed to be okay. Well, while we're under our first caution, we'll kind of talk about the season so far, the point standings as they run. I'll try to get that pulled up now. Wasn't expecting to talk about it just yet, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. Chris Carroll on top right now, 70 points ahead of everybody. Of course, the playoffs will negate that, but having a fantastic season, 5 wins on the season so far. 10 top 10s out of 12 races, so very, very consistent for him. Alex Coffey in the second place. Chris Bedwell been sort of on a tear. He's missing a race, so he is you know, to only have 11 starts out of 12, he's sitting in third place in the points. So you got to think Chris Bedwell feeling pretty good about how his trajectory has been going. Charles Stevens is in 4th place. Chuck Phelps in 5th. George C. Williams in 7th. Jason Raymond in right behind him. So some guys that are missing some races, I would imagine. Once the playoff starts, we'll see kind of where everybody ends up. But with only 4 races to go, there not much time. So if you're on the outside looking in, now's the time to be trying to make up those positions. We've got a smaller field, 17 cars, so plenty of opportunity to make up some points and make up some spots in the point standings. But, wow, the longest caution on Earth, I think, is lights are still not off on the pace car. Not sure if they extended or what happened, but really, really long caution for it to be so early in the race. 1 to go. Of course, we've got a lot of awards to give out tonight. We've got the R Charger Award. We've got the Paint of the Night. And tonight's sort of supposed to be a retro paint scheme type of night. And so far, I don't see too many retro schemes, so the paint of the night's definitely going to get some sort of retro scheme. So if you ain't got one of those, you're going to be in trouble. But green flag is out. Chris Carroll electing to take the top side. He's going to get a nice little jump there on Chris Bedwell. Bedwell sort of spins his tires a little bit, but they can get that thing going. But man, he's got the 17 truck all over him as they go down into turn 3 and 4. Watch that Hardy's truck really making that outside work. I mean, showing a lot of strength early. Right behind them on the inside, making it tough for Chris. He's in a po-man sandwich. As Chris McLean trying to improve his position, get up in that spot. Looks like it's going to be tough to pass tonight. It seems like if you're not on the outside, you're really not going to be able to pass. Oh, we got a big wreck. As we try to follow some of the action. Got a wreck back here. Like Justin Miller was involved in that. Let's go back and see what happened. Watching on board with the 26 truck. Oh, Tracy Passons gets in hot and just gets that left rear quarter. And Justin Miller goes around. Not that much damage, so pretty clean wreck. I mean, I'm sure Justin not happy about it, but not the worst thing that could happen. As he gets away without any kind of damage. Well, still no takers on pit road. Not surprising there. We haven't really even run much green flag laps, and but I'll tell you what, as I came prepared for this, so let's go take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're not a company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge. We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop, to perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach. We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
And we're back from our commercial break. It's just a quick one, just a little bit of fun, little road down that memory lane as pull some commercials from the 80s as we do this throwback night. Of course, the Truck Series first season in 1995. So trucks not so much an 80s series, but feels like that type of night, so that's what we're going to go with. Should get the one to go here. And we do, so get back racing. So far, no big wrecks, just small mistakes here and there has been the difference. So I think once guys get the feel for the track and how to navigate it, maybe we'll get some green flag action in here. But, you know, like Denny Hamlin said, this short track racing. Pace car is off. No restart zone here at North Wilkesboro, so the leader, is Aaron Adcock is going to get loose. Oh, he's going to take out his teammate and the number 7 of Alex Coffey as Aaron Adcock has to get on the brakes really, really hard. It looked like he was going to hit the back end of Chris Carroll, and Aaron Adcock goes around, and caution is out. And big damage to that 17. Big damage to the 5 as they were both involved in that. And let's go back and see that. We were kind of watching it, but we'll watch it again from Aaron's point of view. So you're going to see him going to have to get on the brakes really, really tough. And Chris McLean right there trying to enter the corner. And unfortunately, both of those drivers as we'll go back one more time on board with Chris McLean. You see the 17 just get really hot into the corner, gets on the brakes. Chris McLean just not able to respond to it. And both drivers involved, like you said, already. So already some fast repairs being used. Chris McLean, you see that truck looks brand new. Looks like Aaron Adcock gets stuck behind the pace car. Don't know if he'll get the lucky dog. Probably not, since he was involved in that wreck. In fact, I know he won't. So he'll have to actually take the wave around and hope for a quick caution to come down and get that fast repair so he doesn't lose a lap. What happened was he was sitting on the track when the pace car came out, so he actually is scored behind the pace car, tail end of the lead lap. So disappointing, as Aaron had really moved himself up into the battle for the lead, and just a small mistake there, and that was all it took for him to be in the back with some damage. But we still got a long way to go. The lap 25 of 160, so a long way to make that up. It definitely seemed fast enough. Only 17 drivers in the field tonight, so definitely not out of it. Just got to keep your head up and take care of that truck from here on out. We talked to Ray Rogers last week, and he, we talked about how he had started from the back almost every race, and how he might have a chance at some wins and might have been able to battle. We've had some really long green flag runs to finish these races, and it just hasn't been able to make it up to the front without like a late race caution or something. But he's decided to start up in third place, qualify tonight, and find himself sitting in third place. I don't really know what was happening there. Aaron Adcock should have been the last car on the lead lap, but for some reason did not wave himself around. I'm not sure. He is currently falling back with that damage coming down pit road. That will likely be something that will be tough to overcome. Not really sure what happened there, but anyway, tough night already for the boss man. But that is opening some doors for new guys. You got Willie Evernham up in the third place position, looking to run down the 95. And let's go aboard with Willie Evernham and see what he sees, see what this track looks like. See these drivers carrying a lot of speed down into the corner, and trying to get the best run off they can down the straightaway. See just how deep they're driving into the corner, using that brake to help it turn. And wow, caution's out yet again. That is unreal. As George Williams, this time, a lot of drivers involved apparently. Number 77's front end all jacked up. Yeah, let's go back. Looks like it might have started with Alan Smith and Charles Stevens Jr. Let's go look at it. Oh, it was right there in front of him. It was Alex Coffey and Charles Stevens Jr. You see Charles comes back up in the truck on the track and right in front of the 3. But looks like the 7 of Alex Coffey going down to the corner, and oh, it's same thing that happened to Adcock. He just gets into the corner a little bit too hot. And you're going to see right there, he is loose as a goose, and then tries to make the best of it, goes down in there, and then just a weird contact there. I mean, I think in real life, I don't think anybody would expect the truck to kick out like that with the 88. But it did, and so when he tried to overcorrect, it gets into the grass, comes right in front of the 3 truck. So tough deal, not intentional for sure, Alex. Just another mistake of guys probably being a little aggressive on the brake bias to help this thing turn. You know, you move that brake towards the rear or towards the front, just based on what you want out of the field. And if you just get it a little bit too much, it can either lock up the brakes or get you super loose. And we've already seen that happen a couple of times so far. But looks like Alex is still okay. He's got a little bit of damage. He had some damage from an earlier wreck. So Alex already in some trouble. But I think if iRacing's damage and contact model just a little bit better there, I don't think Charles Stevens goes crazy like that. It's one thing it's just so disappointing sometimes about iRacing is, you know, we watch them beat and bang all the time at these short tracks, but it just seems like on iRacing with the tire model, and there's a lot of factors putting, you know, anywhere between 15 and 43 drivers on the track. But they ought to be able to beat and bang just a little bit without one driver just going spinning out and losing all traction. So, honestly, I think that incident was unfortunately, I think in real life would have been a fine deal there. They would bump, beat and bang just a little bit, come out of the other end with no problem. 97, though, gets a good jump, and, man, Bedwell with those old tires are 36 laps, even though they've been mostly under yellow. You see that Bedwell not able to get the power down, able to maintain that second-place position, but right behind him is Willie Evernham, Ray Rogers side by side. Been seeing that top side really work, but saw Ray kind of struggle a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2, not able to get the drive off that he needs. Probably being a little bit patient. Trying to maybe get down to the bottom. It looks like he lets Jason Raymond go. So first time we've talked about Jason Raymond tonight, but he is up 8 spots from where he started. So him and Alex Coffey fighting for that Hard Charger Award winner in that 44 Chevrolet. Gets to the back bumper of Willie Evernham. We got a nice little battle right here between Alex Coffey and Alex and Griff. I don't know if they make contact or what happened, but Alex Coffey sideways with a fantastic save. Don't know if that was contact or not, but great job by the 7 keeping it together. So got a little bit of green flag racing going on here as we go up front. Jason Raymond on the outside around the 91 of Willie Evernham, making that outside work. We've seen that outside be super strong if you're willing to get up there and attempt it. So, around goes the 12 of William Griffith. He is sitting backwards on the track. Pepto-Bismol number 12 machine. Trying to get it back going, and scared me just a little bit. Pace car coming around. I thought that might have been another truck, but just a pace car. Let's go back and see what happened there between the 12 and I don't know who else. There's your Burkhalter demolition. Chris McClain going to drive down to the bottom, and wow, yeah, just gets in a little bit too hot. And the 12 did give him a good amount of room. And Chris McLean slides up just a little bit. We'll go aboard with Chris. The cameras in this track, not very good. Watch, he's going to take some liberty here, going down to the inside and just not able to hold on to it. You see the truck slide up in the middle, and Griff goes around. Chris McLean trying to recover from a wreck earlier in the race and being a little aggressive there, which I like. I have nothing against it, but just make some contact with the 12. Well, it's a good time. Let's go take us another commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay, thanks. My insurance rep says go with the GM parts.
Great. You'd be surprised how many imitation parts are around.
Really?
I always assumed GM fenders were replaced with GM fenders. Turns out there are all kinds of imitation parts, and some don't even come close to GM specs for fit, finish, and corrosion protection. So remember, even if an insurance company is paying, it's still your car, and it's still your choice. Insist on genuine General Motors parts.
Elvis, then the Beatles. Now it's MTV.
Shame on me.
Every minute, MTV spreads corruption throughout this great nation.
Money for nothing and your chicks for free.
It tempts our children to party, party, party.
Party all the time, party all the time.
MTV is filthy rock and roll.
MTV. Some people just don't get it.
Would I lie to you?
All right, back here at North Wilkesboro for our little throwback race here in the Apex E-Series Showdown, and we have gotten the 1 to green as we watch William Griffith happen to go back of the field. I'm not really sure what's going on with these wave around cars. We saw Aaron Adcock have the same issue. Aaron was able to get back on the lead lap, but interesting what in the world's going on there. I'm not sure. It seems like they're not getting waved around. So I don't know if wave arounds are just not on, which is possible. That happens from time to time. Wave arounds in retros, so back in the day. So maybe that's the case. But green flag is back out for Chris Carroll, Jason Raymond, 5 Kings 1-2 here. As you see Raymond on that bottom side, the bottom lane just not able to get the tires down on these restarts, especially with the leader having control. But Raymond does get a good couple of turns and gets right to the back bumper of the 97. So look out, Jason Raymond. Definitely a short track type of fella, and so far showing a lot of strength, up 10 spots. Alex Coffey, though, right behind him in that Toyota number 7 with a nice little blank throwback scheme. I wish I knew what that was and what that is modeled after, but I like it. He is really, really liking how that truck's handling as he dives down to the inside. And Jason Raymond actually has to get up out of the gas a little bit and give him that position as he is jumping right there. But Raymond going to fight back a little bit on that outside, making that outside really, really work there as Alex tried to make that move, just not able to make the bottom side work. So he's going to try it again. Just see, trying to drive off the corner, off the bottom, just a tough ask of these trucks. He is definitely fast. Going to drive down to the bottom. Raymond actually going to give him the bottom as just a way to say, look, I don't think you're going to pass me down there, so go ahead, you can have it. I'm going to defend this top side. And Kelly Coffey says that is Alex Coffey's Legends car he raced years ago, so that's really, really cool. So a little throwback to himself, pretty neat. You see him really arcing that corner, goes down, pushes up, tries to get as straight as possible off the corner. That's why that bottom side just struggling, is not able to maintain the speed down the straightaway. The straightaways are just not long enough. So you see, a little frustrating, I'm sure, is, man, Chris McLean comes up out of nowhere, jumps up to the high side, and he is gone. Of course, he should have, caution is out again. As, it looks like Chris Bedwell. You're watching from the 95. He's going to come off the corner. He got Dana Shepard. Oh, and he just gets loose. Wow, really odd, a rare thing to happen to Chris Bedwell. Just gets loose off the corner, and the 77 did not want him to feel bad of Tony Edgerton, and just spins out with him. I like this. I like Tony. He does not want you to feel alone as he comes in and spins with Bedwell. We've seen the 77 around a few times tonight. I think he was just checking on his teammate. I think that's what it is. These guys are teammates, and I think he saw the 95 spin and hit that inside wall, and he just wanted to make sure he he wanted to make sure that Chris was okay, as we'll watch actually from Tony's in-car. See Bedwell sitting there. I've seen this out of the 77 for a while. Look at him checking on him. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? You all right? He sees that Bedwell's good. He decides just to go on and head out himself. I've seen that out of Tony a couple times. It looks like his wheel has got something going on. I don't know if he has. We talked about the brake bias being really, really aggressive. I've heard of people turning the brake bias down to like 45%. And that works really good if you're at a track like this that you're really relying on that brake to turn the car. However, when you get on the brake for entering pits or trying to slow down for a wreck, it'll kick the back end around like that. So don't know if he's having controller issues or if it's brake bias, but the 77 definitely having some issues trying to get woed up. If it's a brake bias thing, he can go in there and turn that up, give himself a little bit more rear brake and but that 77 truck looking tough. Got a lot of damage. Well, I got infinite commercials, so I might as well use them up. Let's go ahead and hit another one while we're waiting.
It's the real action, the pro action, NFL action with the VCR quarterback game, NBA action with the VCR basketball game, NHL hockey action with the VCR hockey game. Hundreds of plays, hours of action. The VCR board game's officially licensed by the leagues themselves. Pick your sport, play with the pros. It's a new ball game every time you play. Your favorite sport is always in season at your VCR Sports Center. Is at a store near you.
All right, we had the one to go and about to go green, and Chris Carroll this time with his teammate close by takes the inside line to give his teammate the outside, and he's going to see if he can hold on to it with the outside just be so strong. Chris McLean trying to make the bottom work, but you see Jason Raymond able to make it work. His boy, they are getting close. I love to see it. The 5 and 7 side by side, and look who is on his way back up to the front, the boss man himself, Aaron Adcock, in that 80s or that Hardee's 17 machine. If you're Chris Carroll, you'd love to be able to scoot away from this group like he does most of the race. Oh, and Bedwell goes around again. Man, Bedwell, Willie Evernham involved in another wreck. Wow, we are just, this track is really putting it on him tonight. As you see that 91 have some engine damage. So hopefully he hasn't used his fast repair, because he is going to need it for this one. Once you start to see smoke, there is no fixing that. Let's go back and see what happened to him. See the 91 right in front of the 95. And he is going down to try to make a pass on Matt Rogers. And we see the same thing that's been happening all night. Gets on the brakes a little bit too hot, gets it sideways, and overcorrects right in front of the 95. and both these drivers go into the wall. Looks like George Williams involved as the 91 comes down the track. So I definitely think somebody in the somebody in the practice session said, "Oh, you need to crank down your brake bias to about 45%, because that's the only thing that I can think of that is getting these guys in trouble like this is just being too aggressive." But we've seen the best do it. I mean, everybody, every wreck that we've seen has involved that in some way or another. So, you know, that's the risk reward of racing. You've got to, you know, if somebody else is using that brake bias like that to help the truck turn and get it rotated, and you don't do it, you're losing time and speed. But the trade-off is you just don't give yourself a lot of breathing room to not kick the truck sideways. Talking about drivers that are moving up through the field, Alan Smith, man, the number 3 machine, he is currently in 6th place. Looks like he came down pit road, so he probably has 4 fresh tires. And with that Trigger Time Chevrolet looking real good, other than the static number there. We're going to have to get that Earnhardt number 3 on there next week. But Trigger Time Chevrolet running in 6th place, so having a great run. Up 11 spots from where he started. Currently the Hard Charger award winner if the race started or stopped right now. But up front, still 5 Kings front row. Yeah, it's Chris Carroll, Jason Raymond side by side here. Then you got a Poman 2nd row as Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock doing a little redo. Hit rewind on the VCR, and they are back up front. See if this time they can stay off each other. As you know, these laps are going to quick off. Oh my goodness gracious! They're going to click off really quickly as green flag is out. Chris Carroll with another fantastic restart. Chris McLean going to try that inside again on Jason Raymond, but we'll see Jason be able to hold that top side, I believe, as he has been extremely strong. As Chris Carroll going to go down to the bottom, sort of block the run. You see the 17 getting wound up way up there up top as that Hardy's Ford jumps back into this lead battle. But man, Jason Raymond looking so strong on the outside, doing a great job of holding everything down up here up front. But while we've had some green flag racing, been a lot of yellows, but the green flag race we have had has been really awesome. As we have a little you see Chris McLean getting super sideways off the quarter, being really aggressive on the throttle. And going to lose a little bit of time, and that is bringing in Alex Coffey and Dana Shepard. Those drivers moving up too. So, I mean, Alex Coffey has been extremely fast all night long. He is the fastest truck on the track at the moment. Looking down at the inside. Let's see if he can make the inside work. Nobody's really been able to make a pass on the bottom. So if he somehow does, that will be extremely impressive. As everybody up here seems to be using that top side as a defensive line. Oh, the 17 gets sideways. And so Alex is able to make that bottom side work, especially when the truck up top gets loose like that. So Alex Coffey up to the 4th place position. And looking to run down the 5 machine, man. I don't know. Alex seems to have maybe a tire advantage. We know that Chris Carroll and Jason Raymond haven't used their tires yet. I don't know if McLean used his, but it definitely seems like Alex Coffey has a little bit extra in the tank. As he looks down to the inside of the number 5, gets a great run into 3 and 4. Let's see if he can make that move, hold off of 4. Gets a great jump. Oh, and the 5 goes around. Oh, he saves it. The number 5, man, I tell you what, Chris McLean is looking for a pit stop ASAP as that truck just no grip on the rears. Start Money Motorsports. I don't know who that is. Let me know. But they said dug out the old throwback layout. I love it. Absolutely, it's a throwback race. We're gonna have a little throwback. Throwback overlay. Tanner Marr said, let's go 44 97.5 Kings Motorsports 1-2. That's right. They have Chris Carroll's not giving up that lead, but Jason Raymond has moved up 10 spots from where he started, still on his original set of tires. I'm very, very convinced that Alex Coffey, while I know he's extremely fast, he is a good 2/10 faster than anybody else. So I have a very, very good feeling that Alex Coffey is on new tires. So that's another strategy call. You know, it's if we have a long green flag run, that call is going to be really, really good for Alex, as you see him able to do what nobody's been able to do, really, make the bottom side work. Lots of love in chat for Chris McLean on that save, no doubt about it. Looks like Alex going to be able to complete this as the number 44. You can definitely feel the tire difference there. Is Alex Coffey able to make the drive off the corner just with ease. 44 having to work that throttle to keep the truck under him in the 7 car. Headed to try to make some waves up here with Chris Carroll. Oh, well, Jason Raymond gets a little bit of the wall here. Let's go back here. Chris McLean falling back a little bit. Those tires just yelling at him. He is definitely begging for a caution here. We've been having caution all night, but he is not getting it. You see him loose already. Once those tires get heated up in iRacing, temperature is everything with tires. So once you get them heated up and overheat them, you're going to have to let them cool off for a couple laps, maybe longer, to get that grip level back up. But Alan Smith making a move on the inside. Alan Smith wants to get in the top 5. McLean really driving that truck really, really hard. Tanner Marr says how long they've been out there on tires. Well, Chris Carroll and Jason Raymond, they have yet to pit. Dana Shepard, another. As far as we had Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock, they have been involved in a wreck. As far as did they take tires, I'm not sure. But I definitely know Chris Carroll and Jason Raymond still on their original set. So they're doing a good job running first and third on old tires. So they look to be good if they have some more cautions. They have an extra set than some of these guys, but can go quite a ways on fuel at a track like this. So last pit was on lap 62 for some of these drivers. Oh, and yellow flag is out, so none of that is going to matter right now as Alan Smith goes around. I'm trying to find him on the track. He just disappeared. Alan Smith looking to get in the top 5, goes around. Let's see what happened. Just driving the wheels off that thing, and oh man, just gets a little bit loose. You saw him loose through that corner, and coming off the corner gets a little bit loose again, and Tracy Passons was there. They make contact, and the 3 goes around. Disappointing, but we have seen that out of almost everybody tonight. But as far as tires go, well, a lot of it's going to be equalized here. You see Chris Carroll coming down pit road, Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock, Dana Shepard, George Williams, Tracy Passons, Jason Raymond, Alex Coffey, Alan Smith, all coming down to take tires. And then guys who have pitted the last time the caution was out on lap 62, so about 24 laps ago. Ray Rogers, Justin Miller, Charles Stevens Jr., and Matt Rogers and Willie Evernham, your top 5 staying out on the track. So Ray Rogers going to be your new leader. a little bit of differing tire strategy. I really love it. It's going to make for some interesting racing as new tires are going to be constantly starting outside the top 5. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's go to another commercial. I got a bunch of them. Let's use them up.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
You get extra flavor, extra fun in extra sugar-free gum.
Extra, the only leading sugar-free gum with NutraSweet, gives you extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long ride. Extra flavor for that extra long ride. When you chew it extra, the extra fresh flavor lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra lasts extra long.
The Monte Carlo SS of NASCAR champion Dale Earnhardt uses just one make of tire, the Goodyear Racing Eagle. And every Monte Carlo SS leaves Chevrolet with just one make of tire, the Goodyear Eagle GT Street Radial. Not by coincidence, because Goodyear makes better high-performance tires for the track and for the street. Goodyear Eagles, they'll take you home the quick way or to the winner's circle. Goodyear, take me home.
All right, and we are back with the 1 to green. I'm very, very interested to see what's going to happen here. Chris Carroll, Alex Coffey, the first drivers on new tires. You've got about 25 lap older tires here up front. And guys, oh my goodness, Willie Abraham going to get a little bit loose and a little bit of contact with Chris Carroll as, boy, they are fanned out all over the place. These tires eating them up. You see how Alex Coffey just feels like a new man out there as he's driving all around to these guys. Oh my goodness, it is a parking lot up. I cannot believe they haven't wrecked yet as, man, it is. Good grief. Oh, Charles Stevens going to get loose. He is dropping down the track and able to keep it going, but my goodness, Alex Coffey giving the bumper to the 51 as Jason Raymond, 45 degrees off the corner. These guys are driving the wheels off of it, and Jason Raymond gets into the 96, and the 96 Meliella goes around. We stay green, though, as Jason Raymond gets it back going. Everybody did a great job of missing that, but guys driving their guts out. We stay green, though. We go back up here to the front as Ray Rogers able to maintain this gap so far, but man, that was exciting little bit there. I cannot believe they held that together. But all eyes here on the 7 truck as he is running down. Ray Rogers should have the tire advantage. See if he can make that pass. Oh, it's a 51 is going to get loose now. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. It's wide. I can't follow there's just drivers going all over the place. Alex Coffey has to check up for that. When he does, Chris Carroll there to take advantage, but Alex Coffey, I know him, he's not going to give up easy, especially the lead as he leans right there on the door of the 97. This is for the lead. Both these drivers have the same tires, so there's no tire advantage here. It's just whoever can get the run that they need off the corner. We don't know if the 7 has any damage. The 97 been the class in the field so far. Let's see if he can make that bottom side work. We haven't seen anybody be able to do it on new tires. Just see the 7 getting sideways off the corner, man. I love this as North Wilkesboro putting on some good racing as the 7 is going to give up the position. And Chris Carroll retakes the lead after an insane run of events there. And my brain just fell apart, man. But Chris Carroll takes over the lead. Alex Coffey trying to get that position back, but you do see that damage on the right front, but you also see the 97 has a little bit of right front damage as well. I'm actually surprised Alex wasn't able to hold that position on the top side. So just great driving by Chris Carroll to take back. It's very important that he race as hard as possible Passing has been difficult, especially as the tires start to wear off. So you want to get that lead if you can as soon as possible, especially try and do it on the bottom. We're about to check in on Jason Raymond, who had worked himself up into second place at that restart. Very, very close call, able to prevent catastrophe, and he is currently running in sixth now. Well, it's never good when the cameras are named the wrong thing. It makes it very, very hard to find the one that I want. But it's got Jason Raymond, who we're on board. Oh, he gets loose as he's trying to get the run on the 53 of Tracy Passons, who has worked himself in the top 5 and not able to get the power down. Those rears not very happy as not able to make that pass. So he's going to have to regroup and do it over again. But everybody kind of getting spaced out now as Chris Carroll, Alex Coffey still within a couple tenths of each other. These two running very, very similar lap times. Looks like Alex be faster one lap, Chris Carroll faster the next. These guys trading blows. We'll check in on Alex, see what he looks like, see if he looks calm. That helmet bouncing around a little bit, but steering wheel looking good. As we look out the back, we've got a nice little gap back, about 2.6 seconds to that Hardy's truck. As he is continuing to try to hunt down the 97 and get that position back. As looks like the 97 of Chris Carroll is in the back of the field. Got some lap traffic. We'll see how that affects the drivers. Once you start getting the lap traffic, you kind of hope that everybody that you're putting a lap down, you've been real nice to. You really haven't been a jerk to. Haven't done anything to them in this race or the last few. You kind of look and go, all right, I think that guy will give me a break. And if you got into it with a couple drivers, you look ahead and you go, oh God, I'm not going to be able to get around him very quickly. So it's when you're leading, it's always good, to make sure you got a lot of friends on the track, or it can be very, very difficult. So, as the 7 gives a little bump to Charles Stevens. And Charles is going to drive down in the corner and just caution going to come out there. The 7 backs up into the track in front of Jason Raymond. My goodness. As Jason Raymond then goes up in front of Justin Miller. Good Lord. There's a lot to unpack there. Let's go back and watch that. Now, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let the camera do all the work. Like I said, it's always good as you're lapping somebody that, you he treated them right. I'm not really sure where this started. I don't know if it was because of this bump here. But as they go down into the next corner, you'll see what started all this. Maybe some brake failure out of the 88. I don't know, like Kyle Larson. But the 7's going to go around, and then he's going to back up. And, oh, my goodness, Jason Raymond gets a piece of that. Then he pulls back up in front of the 26 as he's trying to go around and spins him out. And Raymond calls it a night, it looks like. So, whew. Well, there's a lot going on there. You know, you guys can make the call on what y'all think. I'm just here to show you the action. I don't place blame or anything like that. But what I will tell you, Aaron Adcock with the lead. Pitted on lap 86, so staying out on old tires. We know that they most likely got a set earlier, so this might be a reset for them to try to maintain some track position, but also get back on the same tire strategy as the leader, Chris Carroll, was on. I think Chris Carroll, assuming he can stay out of trouble, which has been difficult tonight for pretty much anybody. I don't think anybody's safe. If he can stay out of trouble, he should get back to the lead without much issue with, looks like about 30 lap fresher tires. So, but we've seen that it's been very, very difficult to get back. We lost Ray Rogers, and I don't remember why. I don't know if he was involved in an incident or not. But we do have the 1 to green, so Po-Man 1, 2, 3 with George Williams in 4th place, man. What a great run he's having. Dana Shepard, Alan Smith recovering. He is going to be to the outside of Chris Carroll. So right now, your 4 tires on this last caution: Chris Carroll, Willie Evernham, Charles Stevens Jr., Matt Rogers, Justin Miller. Those drivers all come down pit road. Most likely get 4 tires. Aaron Adcock with a great jump. Aaron probably thought his race was done, and here he is leading the thing. So gets a good jump. Chris McLean following suit. Go back and watch 3 wide. Chris Carroll. Alan Smith says, "I don't want none of that." Backs out of it. Let's all 3 of those drivers go. Gonna drop back to 8th place, but doing what he can to save that the damage for that race car and truck. Chris Carroll on those fresh tires, really nowhere to go right now as Tracy Pass and George Williams side by side. Definitely knows he has the tires to get around him, but just nowhere on the track to go. George Williams going to be able to clear him. Let's see if caution's out. Whew. Pepto-Bismol truck with some issues. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the 26 drives in, comes up the track a little bit, but that's to me, that's another one of those iRacing deals where that kind of contact should not send a driver spinning like that. It was a very, very light touch. They should have been able to save that, but he just kind of, like he's on ice and just goes around. So just another example of iRacing really needs to get that fixed where guys can really lean on each other without the trucks just completely spinning out. It didn't seem like a very hard hit there, and the truck just kind of loses all grip. let's go to commercial break. We'll be right back.
Now, for the first time ever, get into the world's fastest cars on 3 exciting new home videos.
Hi, I'm Kenny Bernstein, and I want to tell you about a real special offer. Bobby Rahal, the 1986 Indianapolis 500 champ, shows you the ins and outs of IndyCar racing. Rahal shows you what it takes to become a champion. Are you a NASCAR fan? Winston Cup champion Darrell Waltrip takes you from the workshop to the winning line and beyond. And in this video, you'll be my guest for the most complete and exciting guide to drag racing ever made. I'll show you what it takes to go from 0 to 100 in just over a second, plus tips and secrets and much more. Each video can be yours for only $19.95, but that's not all. Order now and you receive absolutely free a copy of my book, Kenny Bernstein Explains Drag Racing. This full-color guide...
The upset of the week is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. For most...
Call now and this book is yours free with any purchase. Call 1-800-922-4400. That's 1-800-922-4400. Motorsport Videos, only $19.95.
The upset of the week is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. For most common stomach discomforts, the one that coats is the only one you need. The New York Giants launched their '87 campaign at Soldier Field in Chicago as world champions, and an early block punt recovered for a touchdown put Parcells' Pack up by 7. The euphoria quickly faded when their special teams performance sputtered. The Bears turned an expected close game into a rout. Dennis McKinnon's 94-yard punt return TD led Chicago to a rout. The Pepto-Bismol upset of the week.
Well, there you have it. With the Pepto-Bismol truck going around, we got the Pepto-Bismol upset of the week in 1987. Well, we're getting ready to go green here, and Aaron Adcock, George Williams side by side. Aaron Adcock going to get a huge jump with bringing Willie Evernham along with him, as looks like Chris McLean goes down and gets a set of tires. And oh my goodness, George Williams, what's going on up here? As he is all out of shape, as that truck got super loose and almost gets into the 97. Oh man, that was super, super scary out of that driver. But he is able to hang on to it. Great job there, George. And he's got Alan Smith looking to the inside. But we got a battle for the lead as Willie Evernham going to look to the inside of the 17 truck. And caution is out again. Looks like William Griffith involved in this one too. So caution's just piling up here. Let's go back and see what happened. Tony Edgerton right in front of him. They go down to the corner. And I feel like there's a little bit of deja vu there, as the 26 of Justin Miller. This time, that is not on iRacing, I don't think. That was just a pretty good little tap there, as gets down in the corner really, really hot. And it's the same thing we've seen all night. Guys just driving really hard into the corner, getting on the brakes, and those front tires sort of locking up, and kind of shoots the car straight and go right straight into the left rear quarter panel of the Pepto-Bismol truck. So William Griffith had a tough couple of laps. Adcock really loving to see these caution flag laps. I mean, if they keep coming, you know, it's going to be really hard for anybody to mount any sort of charge. Now, everybody behind him at this point is going to have fresh tires. So, Aaron, you know, unfortunately for Aaron, I just don't think anybody's going to pit anymore. So he's really, really off sequence. You know, he may, if we get a caution the next lap or so, he can go down pit road. And Mike can get some folks to pit later. I don't know. I just don't know if there's going to be opportunities to pit again. Willie, Chris, Tracy Passons, Alan Smith, Dana Shepard, Chris McLean all pitted around lap 122. Chris Carroll, Willie Evernham on 114, 115. And Aaron Adcock and George Williams both on lap 86. So there's just a big tire difference here. Aaron Adcock will be okay for a couple laps. But that's still 30 lap old tires compared to the people behind him. George is going to be in big trouble, as he is he's on the same cycle that Aaron Adcock is on, but he has got folks all around him with new tires. So George's going to have to be careful. And Aaron's been able to get a good start so far on each restart. As we get the one to green here. As always, want to thank all of our sponsors. We'll talk about most of them, especially towards the end, but definitely want to thank Apex Sim Racing Gear, apexsimracing.com. Go check them out as pace car going to pull off. Willie Evernham tries to get a little jump there on the restart, and Aaron not having any of it. As Willie going to have the 53 all over the outside of him. And this is music to Aaron Adcock's ears as they are side by side racing as hard as possible. You see Willie Evernham getting loose. Chris Carroll, and Tracy Passons gets hooked by the 91, and caution is out again as Tracy hard hit on the outside wall there. We'll have to back it up. There's actually no contact listed, although we were watching it. As Willie just getting really, really loose off that corner. So back tires are hot and gets in that corner, just a slight tap. And around goes the 53. So caution back out again. George Williams making his pit stop. I think, I think if I'm George, I might be feeling pretty good about this call here, as he's going to have really, really good set of tires. Now, the folks have pitted on lap 124, so they really haven't put enough wear on those tires to be a problem. But, still Tracy looks like he just took a fast repair, didn't change tires, so he may be out. I don't know how many sets of tires. I think they normally get 4. So most folks are either on their last set or have just taken it. But we'll see if George Williams has anything, if he did take his last set of tires, and see if he can make some ground up towards the front. Let's go ahead and use the commercials. We'll be right back.
Berg steals it. Johnson, layup, Boston. 1 second left. 1 second left. TBS. NBA is here to play.
The excitement continues every Tuesday and Friday night with America's Game. The Superstation is the way to see the NBA. Beginning Tuesday night, November 3rd.
We're shooting for the best. Superstation TBS. At the hoop.
If you're looking for good ideas on personal finance, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Because while there's plenty of money around, unfortunately, it doesn't come with instructions.
Call 800-372-3000 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-372-3000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, good call. Good call. 18 laps, 17 laps to go now, and Aaron Adcock doing a great job of holding on to the lead. You see him working that top side, trying to defend. The top side's been extremely strong, but here comes Chris McLean down to the bottom. 30-lap fresher tires. Can Aaron Adcock do anything with it? We've seen older tires, guys get loose off the corner. He's going to have to make sure he doesn't step on the gas too much. You want to battle for the lead. Oh, as Passons goes around, we're going to stay on the battle for the lead, though, as there's no caution yet, and caution does come out. And oh, you got to be sick of your Aaron Adcock. Just lost the lead. Let's go back and see what happened there. Sorry about the sound issue. Tracy gets the left rear quarter of the 77. The 77 just had a tough race. And a couple drivers go around. This is going to be a race that some drivers want to forget. Well, the timing of that caution was paramount to this lead, as, man, I tell you, if Aaron Adcock would have held on to that lead, he would have control of this restart. He would have a really, really good chance, especially if cautions keep coming out. But now Chris McLean has control of the restart, has control of the race, and has the fresher tires. So going to make a huge difference in who wins this thing, I believe. Because I don't think Aaron's going to have enough to go up and challenge the lead. I think he was going to have to defend for the rest of the race, hope for a couple cautions. And I'm really surprised that he hasn't come down pit road and take that last set of tires. But I think he would be a good bit faster than most folks. But that's why he's in the truck and I'm up in the booth. I can't even get the sound unmuted, much less make tire calls. So he was able to hold off his teammate. Chris McLean pitted on lap 124. Aaron Adcock on 86. McLean may have only taken 2 tires. Just speculating. I don't know. It's hard for me to know what they took without asking them directly, as we visually can't see unless we watch the pit stop if they take right side or lefts. But we are finally getting down to the end of this one, as this has been a long, long race, as it's been mired in a lot of cautions. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Get the 1 to green. We're going to have 9 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. It's a Poman 1-2 right now. You've got and 3, and then you've got Chris Carroll on the outside of the second row. What's going to happen here? I think we're going to see some action here. Let's see who's able to do what. Chris McLean going to get a good jump, and oh my goodness, Aaron Adcock has a lot of wheel spin there. Chris Carroll going to get up to the outside. Going to try to defend that 97. But, man, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to hold him off on those old tires. He is not able to do it. So the 97 up into second place is, oh, somebody's going around. George Williams goes around. Caution is back out as Tracy Passons is going to be involved in that. As George Williams, not really sure what happened, but he goes around. Let's see if we can go back a lap and see what happened. Watch him in that pink 40 machine, as he is right behind Alan Smith. Got those fresh tires, man, trying to make them work. Goes down into the corner and, yeah, gets on the brakes. Tale as old as time. We've seen it over and over again as just enters in high, gets on the brakes, just gets that truck super loose and spins out. So unfortunate for George, having a good run. But Chris McClain able to hold on to that lead, but Chris Carroll able to get around Aaron Adcock for second place. So I think we're going to have a nice little battle here as laps are ticking down. Chris Carroll, 10 lap older tires than the 5. I don't really think that's going to make a huge difference at this point. I don't think that 10 laps is going to matter too much here as they've got quite a few heat cycles in them. But the question is going to be if the 97 can get the power down. McClain's going to have all the advantages. He's going to be able to choose his lane, which most likely will pick the top side, especially with his teammate, Aaron Adcock, restarting. Well, I guess he's got both his teammates. So I don't know what lane he'll choose. But I would assume the top, since the top has been the strongest, you definitely don't want to get allow Chris Carroll to your outside, I don't believe. But he'll get a good start. It's just whether or not Chris Carroll can get the power down and get stay with him. Last thing you want to do is spin the tires, cause a wreck, but spin the tires and lose, 4, 5, 6 tenths. That could also mean the race because we're only going to have just a few laps to go. We may be even in green, white, checkered territory. We'll look at that as it presents itself, but it is going to be it's going to be quite a show to finish this one off. Right, 1 to green, so we're going to have a natural green-white checkered. We're actually going to have 3 laps to go, so not quite green-white checkered. The green-green-white checkered. So 3 laps. If you've got anything left in the tank, now is the time to use it. Chris McClain get a good start. Can Chris Carroll get a good enough start? McClain is gone. Carroll does as good as he possibly can on the inside. Does he have anything for that 5 machine? Has he got time to get up there and battle him? How's he going to pass him? Oh, he gets there right off the corner. He's right on his bumper. The 97, really, really strong run off that corner. Looking to the inside. How is he going to make that pass? Oh, Aaron Adcock gets a little bit loose off the corner. 2 laps to go here. Does Chris Carroll have anything for this 5 machine? How is he going to make the pass? Is he going to have to put the bumper to him? What's he going to do as we come down to the APS Absolute Product Solutions final lap? White flag is out here. Who is going to be able to take home this win? Chris McClain has it. Can Chris Carroll do anything? You see him getting sideways, not able to do anything with him there. Go down into turn 3 and 4, and Chris McClain is going to take home the checker flag. Chris Carroll in second, and Willie Evernham brings home 3rd place. What a race there at the end. Chris Carroll just needing a little bit of extra, maybe a little bit more time, but man, Chris McClain with a fantastic restart, had the tire advantage, everything he needed, and gets the win. So congratulations to our winner, Chris McClain. Awesome, awesome race. Well, we got some awards to give out, so I'm going to go ahead and give those out now. I'm going to give the paint of the night to the number 17 Hardee's truck. So Aaron Adcock going to be your One-Inch Designs favorite paint of the night. And we got to give out the Hard Charger Award, and that's going to go to Alan Smith. So the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner, Alan Smith, with a 5th place finish, up 12 spots from where he started. What a race for him, up there in the mix. And he's going to win the Hard Charger Award winner. As far as the Jammed Up Award winner, I think there's a lot of drivers that could go to. And I'm going to give it to the 77. Even though he finished in 8th place, he definitely had a lot of a lot of issues that really weren't his problem. So Tony, great finish in 8th place, up 6 place from where he started, but he's going to win the Trigger Time Jammed Up Award, Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range. But still a great finish for Tony. Whew. Well, let's get into the Five Kings post-race show. And we're going to start with 3rd place, Willie Evernham, who drove a fantastic race. Let's see what these drivers think. Let's get some info from them and see what they thought about tonight. Willie, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, I mean, a wild race, a lot of cautions, a lot of comers, goers, different tire strategies, but there at the end, you were able to put that 91 machine in 3rd place. Talk about your race, man. How'd it go for you?
Oh, man, I love this place. North Wilkesboro is about 40 minutes from my house, so I get on here as much as I can and race here. But, man, the old Desired Image 91 was pretty good tonight. Did some strategy there, fell back mid-pack, got into some tussles, but that short track racing. And, we came back and raced with the best of them up front there. Chris Carroll McLean and Carroll had good trucks and raced with Adcock there, man. We had a hell of a battle for the top 5 spots.
Well, I mean, just was tough. It was tough to pass. It seemed like trying to be, on the top side if you can would be the place to be. I mean, did you find that to be really difficult? I mean, what was your strategy to try to make passes on folks?
Yeah, usually this place, man, you got to run the bottom and kind of wait for people to mess up and push up. But, man, the top line really came in. You could run the outside, the second groove there. And even I think on that restart, I was up in the 3rd groove to make a pass. But, man, it was surprising that the trucks ran up there. Had a blast. I love this place. I mean, 160 laps around here is no joke. Just appreciate everybody at Apex putting this on, Rebels Racing Network. Desired Image, NOS Energy, Bushlight, man, just everybody that supports me, family, friends, and everybody who's watching right now.
Heck yeah, man. Well, congratulations on 3rd place finish. Started 5th, was running up front, felt like all night. Just a great race, man. Congratulations on that 3rd.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man, especially coming back from surgery a couple weeks ago. It's been fun to be back. I know I was off for about 3-4 weeks there with the old surgery, so still hoping to get in the top 16 here for points and hopefully go for a championship.
There you have it, Willie Evernham. Thinking about championships, I like to see it. I love it. Well, let's get Chris Carroll in here and let's talk to him, see what he thought. Hey, Chris, is Eddie in the booth? You got me?
I got you, Eddie.
Man, a wild race. Not the usual green flag racing that we have here in Apex, but short tracks, North Wilkesboro, sort of a funky track for these trucks. How you have to drive it, made for some wild racing. Lots of different tire strategies. You kind of had to pit and come back through the field a couple times, but able to come home with a 2nd place finish. Talk about your race, man.
Yeah, I was going to run the whole race without pitting if I could, but I got out there, and when you're the leader and there's that many cautions, you don't really know what to do because, I mean, at some point they're going to get fresh tires and come get you. And I decided I was going to pit it halfway and not pit again, but I figured we'd have the long run at the end, being that, there'd be a lot of wrecked race cars out there and less guys on the track, so I came in and got some because I knew a few other guys had, and they were going to come get me on new tires. So, I was pretty sure. And they just had 97 cautions out there, unlike those guys, and I couldn't make up the ground.
Yeah, it was definitely a mess. A lot of I said in the broadcast, it seemed like somebody in the practice session told everybody to put their brake bias down to about 48%. It seemed like a lot of guys really driving deep down the corner, getting a little bit loose. So definitely a lot of cautions. But still, though, I mean, a really good race. I mean, with all the different strategies and trying to stay out of trouble, you were able to stay out of trouble, and that puts you in position to try to fight for a win.
Barely.
Yeah, I mean, with three laps to go, it's going to be hard to mount any sort of challenge. But did you have any kind of maybe plan or thought about what you could do to get around that 5-car truck?
Well, I'll be honest. It took me about 5 laps before I felt like I was fast. I felt like I was pretty slow for the first 5, and then when the tires came in, I was really fast. So the only the only plan I had to go after Chris is drive the hell out of it and hope he made a mistake. I knew on the cold tires though, there's lots of grip, and I figured I wouldn't have time to get him.
Well, came up a little bit short tonight, man, but another great finish on what's been a great season for you as you get sort of into playoff mode here with only about 3 races left. You're still looking really, really good. Got plenty of speed. We know you're going to be up front all week long or race long. So, got to feel good as you're sort of coasting into the playoffs with a 70-point lead. And tonight just kind of adds to that. So, congratulations on second place finish, Chris. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Sponsors, shout outs.
I got to thank you for the broadcast, man. It's pretty cool to go back and watch that back. Got to thank Brian Zerman, Pit Lizard Performance. I got to thank USAFirearms.com. I got to thank Adcock and all the guys. I'm not sure who's all the admins in here, but they do a real good job and put on a great show. I got to thank my folks for watching the broadcast and all my friends and family that watch it, man.
Well, awesome. Well, like I said, congratulations. Second place finish. And definitely looking forward to what you're going to do in the playoffs, man.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to give them hell. That's all I can do.
Second place, Chris Carroll. Let's get the winner in here. We're running long, so let's try to make sure he has plenty of time to talk about his win. Chris McLean, this Eddie, you got me?
I got you, buddy.
Man, well, what a wild race. I mean, the Po-Man boys started off with some trouble. It's a little bit of just a wild sort of wreck there at the beginning that took you and Aaron kind of out of it. Thought maybe y'all were in trouble, but able to fight back, battle back, don't give up type of mentality, and able to get around your teammate on those fresh tires and give you the control of the race. And man, what a great finish there to get that win. Talk about your race, man. What all the ups and downs to get back up there and get yourself in position to do that.
Yeah, man, we were just I was planning on just taking it easy there, kind of just staying up front, try to be there for the long haul, and we got that first caution. As soon as Carroll took the top, I knew I was in for trouble there, and Aaron was able to get around me. And actually, I'm not real sure what happened. I think he was trying to stay out of Carroll. He got in a little hot, whatever the case may be, but we kind of got together there and junked it up pretty good, and we just went to work on it. Worked on it all race. I didn't want to take that fast repair just because of the type of track it was, and too early in the race. So pretty much running the whole race with the toe knocked out of it all night, and just eating the right front up. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I could tell when I got back out there on fresh tires, I just wasn't able to make moves. So that told me right there that truck was hurt still, and was able to pick away at it, and finally just really cautions fell right. Went in there and finally got the last bit of damage fixed. Had to make 2 stops on that last pit stop, and just worked my way through the field and got in a position where I felt like we was all right, and was able to get up there behind Aaron and run some laps and finally get by him and then take control. And I was a little worried there because I knew Carroll was on fresh tires, and I was worried that he was actually going to be able to get me there just because I was pushing so bad on the exit because of that toe being knocked out or whatever. But really, it took about 4 or 5 laps for the tires to come in. I just, I couldn't do anything for the first few laps, and then it started feeling good to me. Started being able to put down some lap times, but I think he may have been dealing with the same issue there. So we was able to bring it home on the podium. So happy to do that.
Well, there you go. Well, he's able to bring it home in victory lane, man, with a great win. It was a tough race. One of these races where if you win it, it kind of feels like Daytona or Talladega. It just kind of like, man, did I was able to get that taken care of with how wild that race was. So, man, just a great recovery after that incident, man, and put on a show there at the end, able to hold off Chris and take home the win. So, as always, man, congratulations, and who you got to thank? Sponsor shout-outs.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, we've been having a rough season. Just had been going our way, and then this race almost ended up the same way, but we was able to pull it out. So hopefully we can turn the corner here. I'm tired of getting, tired of having that rough season. But yeah, man, I'd like to give a big shout out to all the guys over at Po-Man Motorsports. Aaron puts on a great league. All the guys, all my teammates, just putting in the effort and practicing and trying to put these things up front. Big shout out to my family, wife and kids, man. They're the backbone of the whole operation. Allow me to come up here and do this and have a good time. Big shout out to you up in the booth. It's a great broadcast. Enjoy going back and watching the next day and try to see where, maybe somebody was a little better than me and I might be able to improve or whatever the case may be. It's always fun to go back and be able to look at that. But just all the competitors, man. Chris Carroll, he's fast. Seems like I've been chasing him all year. Hopefully we can get up there and do some battle with him and put on a good show for the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, there you have it, guys. Fantastic race. Chris McLean takes home the victory, and tough night for some. Overall, just a rough race, not what we're used to here in Apex. So hopefully everybody's feelings are intact and not hurt, and we can go on and get these next 3 races out in the books. Got a lot of battling going on, try to get into playoffs, and then once we hit playoffs, it is going to ramp up to a whole nother level of intensity. So looking forward to that. But as always, thanks everybody for watching, being active in chat. Hope you enjoyed tonight. And definitely go check out apexsimracing.com if you're into some sort of, if you got any kind of sim type thing, you need a button box, anything like that, definitely go check them out. Check out our website, rebelracingnetwork.com. And we will see y'all tomorrow night for, you know what, I think we're off this weekend. Rebels is off, so we'll see y'all next week here in Apex. And y'all have a good night. We'll see you then.